I have always tempered my killing with respect for the game pursued. I see the animal not only as a target, but as a living creature with more freedom than I will ever have. I take that life if I can, with regret as well as joy, and with the sure knowledge that nature's way of fang and claw and starvation are a far crueler fate than I bestow. This is a quote by Fred Bear. Fred was the inventor of Bear Archery, a company which produces bows for competition and hunting purposes. This quote seems to paraphrase hunting from not only his point of view, but also many other hunters. From here, we will show a video that will outline key information on hunting.
The anti-hunter claim that hunting is no longer necessary and is done only for sport is both narrow-minded and inaccurate. First and foremost, hunting is the main tool used by biologists to manage wildlife populations. Managers determine and implement precise hunting regulations based on location, species, sex of species, type of firearm, and time of year. Specific quotas are also implemented and strictly enforced. Such practices are in line with the North American wildlife conservation model, which emphasizes the importance of management and led to the most successful and robust wildlife populations anywhere in the world. Hunting, and trapping for that matter, is also used for control purposes, whether dealing with problem rodent or small mammal species. It is also used to counter the overpopulation of deer within city limits that are very much a human safety issue, especially when it comes to deer vehicle collisions. Additionally, thanks to an 11% excise tax on guns, ammunition, and archery equipment, hunting provides key funding that benefits on-the-ground conservation work in forests, mountains, on the plains, and on waterways from coast to coast. This tax alone generated more than $12 billion since it was embraced by hunters more than 80 years ago. Hunters make up the majority of membership at the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation and other wildlife-based conservation organizations. These groups focus on ensuring the future of elk, deer, wild sheep, ducks, pheasants, wild turkeys, and other species, as well as the habitat that supports them and is key to their survival. And hunting is a sustainable resource that provides a lean, organic source of nutrition. Take elk, for example. Elk offers more protein, but less fat, less cholesterol, and fewer calories than chicken, pork, lamb, or grass-fed beef. And the latest data accumulated by the research firm Responsive Management shows 84% of Americans approve of hunting for meat. What's the bottom line? When you take a step back and look at the big picture, it's more than evident that hunting is conservation.
As we begin, we will talk about the benefits of hunting. The benefits we will talk about are hunting being a natural way of survival, the misconception of animal population and its relation to hunting, the meat gained from hunting, hunting's purpose not only being for harvesting an animal, and the laws set to help animal population. Hunting of animals is often perceived as an inhumane and cruel act, when in reality it is a natural way of survival. Hunting is a way to be part of the life cycle of an animal. Inevitably, every animal will experience death. Whether this death be cruel or quick and painless is up to the hunter or lack of hunters. Mother Nature has a cruel way of taking animals' lives. Whether it be from cold weather or predators, it is never as easy of a death as a well-placed shot from an experienced hunter. A major misconception of hunting is that it causes endangered species or a decrease in population. This seems to be the most misleading part of hunting. It would be very easy to look at hunting and believe it is harming the population of animals. Hunting produces a large amount of money from donations and the purchase of hunting licenses. Hunting generates over $3.5 billion per year in the United States. Some of this money is used to create new habitats for wildlife and help replenish the herding species. Currently, in the United States, more than 193 million acres are used for animal conservation. Yellowstone was the first land to be protected as it was established as a national park protected by the country in 1872. These conservations are responsible for the increased buck-to-doe ratio of white-tailed deer. This increase in ratio causes a secondary increase in the amount of reproduction due to a higher number of bucks able to breed.
Hunting is how our ancestors fed themselves and their families. Just because meat can be bought in the store does not mean hunting is not another way of feeding people. Over 350,000 pounds of venison is donated per year in the state of Missouri alone. These donations are used to supply food to the less fortunate, including struggling households and the homeless. Wild game is the purest form of meat. There are no growth hormones, feed additives, or dyes. Hunting is not all about harvesting an animal. Many hunters, including us, enjoy being in nature and getting to feel as if we are part of it. Spending a day in the woods is one of the most liberating feelings. From watching wildlife to something as simple as clearing your mind, you can never have a bad day. In the video shown on screen, there is a small buck an arm's length away from me. This is a great example of enjoying your surroundings while hunting and being connected with nature. In the mid-1900s, a herding population of wildlife was taken into notice. The hunters took it upon themselves to create regulations on what animals and how many you can harvest in a season. This was done in an effort to replenish the population of many species. The regulations took place, and ever since, the population of wildlife in our country has greatly increased. Many of these rules are still used and enforced. This later turned into a law requiring hunters to have a hunting license and a certificate to be able to hunt. When purchasing a hunting license, you have the option to donate money or purchase a product. All of the proceeds from these fundraisers go to wildlife conservation. Organizations will purchase land and build a suitable habitat to sustain wildlife and help continue to grow the population. Another way the population is managed is by manipulating the length of hunting seasons. For example, if the population of deer is declining, the season may be shortened in the future to replenish the population. When the season is shortened by 50%, on average it will result in a 31% reduction of total animals harvested.
From here, we will switch to the downfalls of hunting. The downfalls we will be covering are the dangers of hunting, the decrease in animal population due to unethical hunters, and wounding of animals. Hunting can be very dangerous. More than 1,000 people are killed every year in North America as a result of hunting accidents. A gun is one of the most dangerous weapons on this planet. With this being said, hunting is a dangerous activity. However, there are now laws set to require orange clothing to be worn while in the woods during hunting season. This has helped the injury rate decrease from hunting accidents. Although the firearm is the most dangerous aspect of hunting, many hunters suffer injury or death from Mother Nature as well. Whether it be extreme weather or terrain, people come up missing every year from a hunting trip and are never found. Our ancestors hunted for meat and meat only. The trophy did not matter. There was no taxidermist to bring your animal to and get it mounted. This has changed drastically. Between 2004 and 2014, more than 1.7 million animals were taken for trophy and not for meat. Hunting has evolved into an activity for bragging rights more so than to meet natural survival needs. Unethical hunters are the ones who hunt for the trophy and not the meat. This can and has led to a severe decrease in animal population. While keeping the population of wildlife under control is necessary, many species have been wiped out or seen a dying population. Unethical hunters are at fault for this.
Wounding an animal and not recovering it is very common in the world of hunting. A slight flinch before the hunter takes a shot can leave an animal injured. When an animal is wounded, it can survive up to a week before dying. An ethical hunter will track the animal for as long as possible before losing trail. When this happens, the animal will most likely pass away and be left for no good. Even though it will be consumed by a predator, part of the animal will still go to waste. As we come to an end, we would like to leave you thinking of your opinion on hunting. Depending on your current opinion, think of the opposing. What are the benefits and downfalls in your own mind? Why would you hunt or not hunt? Is it more beneficial to hunt for meat or to buy it? By no means do we want to change your opinion of hunting. We are simply trying to spread knowledgeable information on this controversial topic. Thank you for listening.